The only thing that needs to be proved, the only proof that you need is to prove it to yourself. Nobody has to prove anything to you, because literally, I have talked with so many people, and literally for months, they will be saying, it's just like this, it's just like, they are this. This is the way that it is. Before anything has ever even happened, before anything has actually ever even shown up to tell them they're right, and then they find out that they're right. So, if you are trying to change what it is that you are thinking, feeling, and believing about somebody, the only proof that needs to show up is your ability to know that you can hold the vision of that thing or that person or that situation in the highest light. That person will never show up to prove to you other than what you believe about them. That thing will never show up to prove to you opposite of what you believe. You have to believe regardless, because this is the thing. When we're thinking about stuff, we can spend months dwelling on something that we can't see, especially when it comes to the fears, especially when it comes to the worries. This is never going to work out. It hasn't even not worked out, and yet you're dwelling on the fact that it hasn't worked out. You can do this without believing, without the proof, without the actual proof, but yet you find it so hard to do without the proof to believe in the good, because that's not true. This is what happened, because you were believing that it was going to happen. So nobody has to prove anything to yourself. The only thing you need to do is prove to yourself that you can persist in the knowing it is the way that you would prefer it to be. The person is the person that they are without the evidence. If anything shows up in your reality to tell you the opposite, you persist. No. So let's imagine that you have been, let's take it to a relationship. This is a really easy example to use. So let's imagine that you are in a relationship and you have been dwelling, I bet they're talking to somebody else. I bet they're talking to somebody else. Do you have any proof of that? No. You just got a thought in your head, and now you spent your time worrying, imagining what that they were. Then all of a sudden, now you start looking for evidence. Now the thought is so loud in your head that you have nothing, you have literally, now you are convinced. You have convinced yourself that this is what's happening, and now you are seeing and filtering everything through the lens of, I just know it. I just know they're talking to somebody else, right? And then guess what? They do. They do. So what I'm saying is, if you spent all that time believing something with no evidence. In fact, when they showed up loving to you, when they showed up and seemed affectionate, you're probably like, oh, what are they trying to hide? What are they doing? Why are they being so nice to me? Because they could not even tell you differently. If you straight up ask them, are you seeing somebody else? No, they must be lying. I laugh about it because it's so true. So understand that when it shows up, it's because you created it. I know that this is such a triggering topic because, no, are you saying it's my fault? I'm not saying it's your fault. You didn't even know what you were doing. But what I'm saying is, now, change your thought for the good, right? So if I'm here telling you, okay, if you think the worst of somebody, start seeing them as the best of somebody. All right, fine. I'm going to go ahead and be like, all right, they're amazing. I absolutely blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they show up in a not so good way. Are you going to just immediately rely on, oh, see, there you go, they're not like I thought they were? No, because you had no problem believing that they were doing something bad when they weren't. And then they eventually did. So why would you have any difficulty believing? Why is it so difficult to persist in knowing that they can be whatever it is that you believe they are? If they're good, they're not doing anything wrong. They're not hurting you. They're not betraying you. But it's because that's all I'm trying to get you to see. When something is wrong, or when we're thinking about the bad things, there's no problem with ruminating over it, letting it loop in your mind for months, and then finding out, I was right all along. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. So if right now you have decided, I am going to change how I feel about these people. I'm going to change about how I feel about my boss. I'm going to change how I feel about my coworkers. I'm going to change how I feel about my children. I'm going to change how I feel about my family members. That means you need to persist in the knowing, even when you don't see the evidence. You went up here to tell yourself anything. So nobody has to prove anything to you. But can you prove to yourself that you can do this? Can you literally persist in knowing that anything you desire can be, will show up and reveal itself to you. You only have to prove it to yourself that you can do it. If you are struggling with this concept, look back on all of the other stuff that you were right about. You ended up being absolutely 100% about. Look at all of that stuff that you did before. You did it without any actual evidence. When something showed up, you didn't believe it. Do the exact same thing in reverse. If you're believing the good and something bad is showing up, no, swipe left. Bat it out of your brain. Put a little bodyguard in front of your mind. No admittance. I'm freaking VIP up here. I am going to believe whatever it is that these are my new thoughts. These are my new beliefs. This is a new science experiment, and I am not, no admittance. Bodyguard standing outside, big burly dude blocking the entrance. Whenever a thought comes up that's outside of your new focus, you literally, no admittance. You don't get it in here, because you know what? I know I did this before on the bad things, and I'm changing it all. So that's all I got for you. Keep shining your light. I know you're having a good day. Keep shining that light, because the world needs it. Take care.